to the Royal Daily Tea YouTube channel. Please be advised all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only, based 100% on my own opinion, my own theories, and my own research. All of my information can be found on the public domain and falls under the fair use guidelines. Please feel free to do your own research. Good afternoon and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. So I'm going to do a small video on my reaction to the Thomas Markle interview that he recently did with 60 Minutes Australia. So I'm going to come on here and say right now, this is all my opinion. Whether you agree with me or not, if you're pro Meghan or not Meghan, it's just open to conjecture. So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't believe Thomas Markle is 100% innocent. We all know he's done some things in the past that were questionable. There's a lot of stories out there about Thomas and his daughter. But at the end of the day, whether he did some things that were wrong or right, he is still a father and a grandfather, and there's still a broken relationship between him and his daughter, Meghan Markle. So whether you love or loathe Thomas Markle, that is still the gist of it. When I watch the interview, he does come across very genuine, very likable, very heartfelt. Of course, his daughter Meghan also likes to come across very genuine, very heartfelt, very victimized. So I think the two of them kind of share that same quality. So whether he's telling the truth or not, we will never know. I do believe the old saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Meghan might have grown up with a mass manipulator. She might have learned a lot of these things from her father. Whatever the case is, who you believe, at the end of the day, I believe he is a broken man. I believe he is very sad over the loss of his relationship with his daughter and the fact that he has still to this day never met Harry, nor has he met Archie and now his new granddaughter, Lily. So with the interview, the first thing is they called him Lilibet's granddad, which I found a little strange that they opened up the show with calling him Lilibet granddad. That to me seems weird. I don't know why they would label him that. I mean, he is, but I would have thought he would have said, Thomas Markle interview Meghan Markle's father, but no, it's Lilibet granddad. So when I watched the interview, unfortunately, I can't play clips from the interview here, but I will have it linked below. He basically makes accusations toward Oprah Winfrey. And to be honest with you, I agree with him on that aspect. I personally do believe that Oprah Winfrey is not a friend to the Sussexes. She's pretending to be a friend because she's laughing all the way to the bank. It has been rumored that that bombshell CBS interview that they did back in March, supposedly the Sussexes weren't paid. They didn't make any money, but Oprah made millions. CBS made millions. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, so you just sat on TV and destroyed your reputation and your family for free? I really hope you guys got something out of it, because if you did that for free and your charlatan of a friend, Oprah Winfrey, was cashing in on your personal family drama, wow. I'm sorry, but wow, seriously? So Thomas Markle accuses Oprah Winfrey of manipulating Harry and Meghan for spilling out all of the juicy gossip and airing out the family laundry and dragging the royal family through the mud. Now, I'm not going to say Oprah Winfrey pushed them or squeezed their arm, but you have to realize that Oprah is cashing in on their personal pain. The Sussexes right now are living in this little Montecito bubble where everyone is saying, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, you're so brave, you're so wonderful, you're outing the royal family, you're calling them racist, oh my God, stand up to them. But what they're not realizing is They're being in a bubble full of people who are basically wiping their butts with compliments. They're not out in the court of public opinion. They're living in a fantasy bubble with their millionaire and billionaire friends, people who are making money off of them spilling their tea. So, of course, people are going to be blowing smoke up their butt telling them how wonderful they are. But if they actually went on the internet and got to the real people of America and Great Britain and the Commonwealth, they're not doing very well in the court of public opinion. As we said, their wokeness is leading to brokenness. Her book has tanked, and they received a lot of backlash from the naming of their daughter Lilibet. And now Her Majesty the Queen has taken the gloves off. The empire is striking back, guys. The Queen has now gotten rid of the old policy of never explain, never complain. And now Buckingham Palace will issue statements every time there is an untruth, especially from her grandson and his wife, Meghan. So, it was reported that Harry and Meghan got permission from Her Majesty to use the childhood name, but Buckingham Palace released a statement to the BBC and said no, that was not true. Her Majesty was informed, but she was not asked permission. So the fact that they're standing by this statement, BBC has not taken it down, and the palace is no longer playing nice. They're taking the gloves off. That should be scary for the Sussexes, because now the palace is going to tell people whether they're telling the truth or not. And the fact that the Sussexes have already tried to scare the BBC and they've threatened, threatening legal action, that should tell you something. That's a classic act of a manipulator, a narcissist. Oh, you're saying something negative about me. I got to shut you down immediately. But they can say all the negative stuff they want about people, and they want people to listen. But when it's reversed to them, they immediately send out their flying monkeys, right? And their group of PR lackeys and their lawyers. Well, the palace is saying, you could do what you want, but we're not standing for it. And the BBC still has the story up. So people aren't listening to them anymore, and they're not going to be threatened by, the lawsuit happy Sussexes. So the palace has taken the gloves off. They're now telling people, no, what Harry and Meghan said is not true. And they're standing up for themselves, and I'm loving that, because these people have been damaging the royal family for the past 3 months. So now Thomas Markle is here on 60 Minutes Australia, and he does look like a broken man. They show the image of him in his home. I believe he lives in Mexico or maybe somewhere in California. To me, I thought he lived in Mexico. I'm not sure. But he's a couple hours away now. They mentioned that, they live in California. And of course, he is yet to see his daughter or meet Harry or Archie, which is very, very sad. But you can tell that Thomas Markle, he is kind of, blaming Oprah for everything. I don't think it's 100% Oprah. I think Harry and Meghan are willing. I don't think it's all, Oprah's fault. I think maybe she coerced them and told them, hey, I have this platform for you. It's going to be awesome. And you can tell your truth, or whatever their version of the truth is. Again, they're living in this bubble where people wipe their butt and say, yes, sir, no, ma'am. They have a servant. They live in a $15 million mansion. Harry has never not been a prince. He doesn't understand how the real world works. He's used to people telling him and bowing to him how wonderful he is and calling him a prince and your royal highness. Like I said, he lives in a bubble. They live in a bubble. So when they have someone like Oprah telling them, it's going to be fine, you're going to get on the show, it's going to be great, you're going to help people, they don't realize now the repercussions of their actions, the backlash they're receiving, the hate, the negativity that they're receiving now. So now Harry and Meghan are like, oh, okay, people aren't really buying this. People don't like us trashing Her Majesty. People don't like us overusing the word racism with no proof and no facts to back up that accusation. So now it's like, I think they're kind of starting to see the repercussions of their actions. But Oprah, I don't believe she's 100% to blame. I believe, yes, I think she did coerce him and, oh, yes, get with me. I'm Oprah. Trust me. It's going to be fine. Who wouldn't trust Oprah? If Oprah offered you to sit down and do an interview, you would think, well, gosh, it's Oprah. So, they've kind of believed her, but at the end of the day, she's cashing in all the way to the bank. Apple TV is up 25%. It was ratings gold for CBS. Oprah made millions and millions of dollars. So I really hope the Sussexes were paid for that interview, because they've literally ruined their reputation and their relationship with Harry's side of the family. It's really sad to me how Archie and Lily have zero contact with 95% of their family on both sides. If you really think about it, Doria, that's like the only family member that we know of that they speak to. They don't speak to hardly anyone on her father's side nor her mother's side. At the wedding of Meghan and Harry, she had one relative, Doria. Well, Doria has sisters, and I think there's cousins, and I don't know if she has grandparents more on that side, but there was not one other person in her entire family at the wedding. That's weird. I'm sorry, but that's weird, okay? One person. So that tells me she doesn't really keep relations. She has no family. And now Harry is completely cut off his family. Supposedly, oh yes, me and the Queen, we're doing great, but you don't slam her and call her neglectful and not being there for me and my wife as we're struggling. And after the death of my mom, you were a horrible parent. You don't do that if you respect that person. And then just attaching her childhood name to your child isn't going to save face. Like, I think he's really trying to get back into the fold, and they're trying to stay relevant by using her name. But like everyone feels out there, the court of public opinion, that was a slap in the face. You don't diss someone and then say, but I'm going to use your private name. Isn't that awesome? No, you don't do that. That is a big no-no. If he would have said Elizabeth Diana, I think people would have been okay, but the Lilibet. And also there's a rumor that Prince George, Kate and William's son, his nickname or code name was Archie, and they literally stole that name and named their son Archie. You guys, I'm not making this up. That's a fact. They took George's nickname and stole it and named their son Archie. So now they can't call George Archie anymore because there's an Archie. And then they took the Queen's nickname, Lilibet. I'm like, oh my God, seriously, can these two just freaking stop? So Thomas Markle on the show, he comes across genuinely. He talks about how he tried to get in touch with Oprah. He left her his phone number and his email because he wants to tell his side of the story, which I can understand. If you have a family member who's in the public and they're slamming you, and then you never have a chance to defend yourself, I can understand the need or the want for that. But then again, it's like, oh, okay, are you also kind of like Meghan, wanting to be in the limelight, to get people to listen to you? So I do feel like his daughter and him are a lot alike, that they're both kind of manipulative. And like to make themselves out to be the victims. Like I said, I don't think Thomas Markle is a bad person, but I don't think he's innocent. I think he has done some things in the past that were shady, but at the end of the day, I wish these two would come together and would work it out for the sake of the grandchildren. I think if Meghan and her father would literally bridge their relationship and the people would see them together, that would be the best press for the Sussexes. It really would. People would be like, okay, she's not evil. She's forgiving her father and even her sister. Again, I know a lot of people don't like her sister, and I'm not saying her sister was perfect. I believe she has done her fair share of shadiness, but at the same time, I believe this family loves each other, and there's just a lot of hurt. When there's a lot of hurt in a family, it is really hard to move past just simple things and to heal. And if Meghan would, do the olive branch and they would all sit down, I think the public opinion of them would definitely increase if she was able to mend the relationship with her father. But there was that weird thing with that letter that she wrote to her dad, and I guess he gave it to the press, or it got to the press. That was just really strange. And to me, that was just a narcissist move from Meghan. I don't know. I just feel very, very sad for Thomas. Again, you know, I think he's a broken man. He wants to meet his grandkids. I wish him well. I don't believe Oprah is 100% to blame for the Sussexes, but their PR team needs to be fired. They need to find somebody else because someone really needs to wrangle these two in and say, stop talking. Stop talking. You are ruining yourself. So reportedly, after the birth of their daughter, they became depressed because they received a huge amount of backlash, like we talked about before, in the court of public opinion. And now that the palace is saying, no, you didn't get permission, I think they're probably in a state of shock that the gloves have come off and the royal family is not going to lay back and let you kick them. They're standing up for themselves. And this is something that Harry and Meghan never probably thought would happen. And I'm loving it. So what do you think, guys? Did you watch the interview? What are your opinions of Thomas Markle? Do you think he's a manipulator just like Meghan? Do you think the apple doesn't fall far from the tree? Do you think Meghan and Harry will ever extend the olive branch and reach out to her father? I really hope they do mend their relationship, but I think it's going to be very interesting in the future to watch the royal family take the gloves off and to fight back against the untruths told by the deceitful duo out in Montecito. Let me know your thoughts, guys, in your comments down below. I appreciate you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Check me out on TikTok and also check out my merch below. I have a little bit of merch. There's a 15% off coupon called Lilybet, which is good until July 1st, and I will be putting up some new designs and working on my website. Thanks, guys. Have an awesome day.